Mashevsky and Smith have been out there for every single draw. 5 of them in the first quarter. Syracuse took 3. And now we're even.
And that's what Mashevsky wants back. She had it right in her stick and just misjudged the bounce.
The Cats set up on offense. Koikunal and Taylor have scored. Here is Koikunal, the senior from Spencerport. About an hour and a half away from SU. Koikunal actually played in front of Gary Gaydon Middle School at the Syracuse Nike Cup and played against Emily Harris, Chuck.
The Nike Cup was a great event. I think I was at the first one ever.
You've got some youth experience with people on this field as well. You went to Kelly Monte-Hiller's camps growing up.
I did, and when I was asking my parents for a picture,
Koikunal almost converts.
they reminded me that it was before the age of digital cameras, so that was really a nice reminder of where I was at then. A little dating myself.
A lot of connections between these two schools, going back to Maryland, where Kelly Monte-Hiller played under Gary Gate. Skane with space. She finds Twine. Izzy Skane is back on the scene. After 98 goals in 2021, she gets her first of 2023.
You can't help but smile when you see her fist pump and all of her teammates come right up and give her a big hug. That's a long-awaited goal for Izzy Skane, and it was really just simple. A slow slide from Syracuse. Izzy Skane, low-angle shot, but she placed it perfectly in the top right corner. Just patient, and that's got to feel good for her.
See the emotion coming out of the school record holder for goals. Those 98 back in 21. Skane now with 12 career points against SU in now 5 games. I'd say, hey, that's pretty good, but you got to keep in mind, Skane averages over 5 points per game in her career. Now 4-year starter for Monte-Hiller and the Wildcats. Serafina DeMuno now out opposing Kate Mashevsky. Both these players with some height at 5'10". How does that help on a draw?
Well, the ball goes up. If you can reach it and you're taller than your opponent, that certainly helps.
Can you play for a certain type of draw where you flick it up over your opponent?
Yeah, I think that coaches allow for or teach different approaches. If you have a height disadvantage, they teach you how to get it away and protect the ball in that way. But it certainly helps just because you can't control it perfectly every single time as a draw taker. So when it does go straight up, being tall is an advantage.
Northwestern's 1-2 in this quarter, but Syracuse got possession right back. Superior Clark draws a whistle. The Orange take it to the left end. Have not seen Emma Tyrell yet today, but Ward and Cockrell back after season-ending injuries a season ago. Here comes Maddie Baxter, a burst of speed. The bouncer just wide.
That's the first real hard dodge we've seen from Baxter, and Coach Kayla Traynor mentioned that she had developed a lot as a member of Team Canada, so it's nice to see her go hard to cage like that.
Said without Baxter, Team Canada doesn't win that goal. She's brought confidence back to Syracuse. Here is Ward, cross-crease pass. Carney's already got 2 for the Orange, but hounded.
That was a nice handle by Meg Carney. That pass was behind her. Emma Ward has to get that in front of her, away from the Northwestern defender.
Here comes Schweitzer, loses her balance. Check all over, a little head tap from Bolin. And Syracuse gets a 12-meter restart. Ward a space, feed inside, just behind Carney. Second chance, Adamson. Right place, right time for Olivia Adamson. We go back to level at 3. Syracuse down 3, 6:25 to go. Orange playing to extend the season to tomorrow against Miami. Mintz around 2 screens up top. Right wing. Orange attacking the right basket. Mintz a right-hand dribble, feeds off to Girard, who's got 9 points. He's 2 of 7 from the field. Hildreth hand in his face. Girard drives, loses the basketball. It's bouncing around on the ground. Klintman and Mintz down for it. A jump ball goes the way of Wake Forest. Girard lost the basketball, and instead of going for it, just put his hands to the heavens.
Yeah, Girard's frustrated, and I would be too, because Hildreth literally, I'm not exaggerating, has the palm of his hand about a centimeter away from Girard's forehead every time he touches the basketball.
Girard could stick his tongue out and touch Hildreth's palm. That's how close we're talking.
I wouldn't want to do that, though.
63-60 Wake Forest with 6 minutes to go in the second half. Klintman inbounds to Appleby. Hildreth, Williamson, and Carr also on the floor for Steve Forbes. Wake 2-11 all-time against Syracuse. Klintman, left corner, picks up his dribble. Copeland pokes it away and draws a foul. Copeland headed to the stripe for a 1-and-1, and that's Bobby Klintman's 4th, a frustration foul. Jesse Edwards to the free throw line. To the scorer's table. Copeland to the free throw line. Edwards about to come in for Munir Hima, who has put in a good 4-minute shift.
He absolutely has, and Syracuse has gone a run. I mean, plus-minus is a stat that a lot of people don't look at anymore, but Hima's got to be up there in his plus-minus numbers.
Syracuse at one point trailed by 13. The Orange now down just 3. Copeland's first free throw, nothing but net. 63-61 Wake Forest. 5:45 to go second half. Hima out, Edwards in. Jesse playing with 4 fouls. Marsh replaces Klintman, who exits the game with 4 personals. 3 different players with 3 fouls for Wake Forest. Hildreth, Carr, and Marsh, who are all in the game as Copeland nails the second free throw. 63 Wake Forest, 62 for Syracuse. Appleby over half court. Zone extends out on Williamson, who gives it back to Appleby. Girard meets Williamson. Now back to the Florida transfer, Appleby. Cameron Hildreth drives, left alley. Spins around, shoots a right-handed jumper. It rattles in from the left elbow. 65-62, Wake back out in front. Edwards couldn't close out on Hildreth in time. Hildreth knocked down by a screen. Edwards a wide open lane. He skies and lays it in. Someone got lost in translation. That was Cameron Hildreth falling to the deck. Girard found Edwards for the easy 2, and Syracuse down 1, 5 minutes to go.
I think Syracuse got away with one. Edwards looked like he pushed him over.
Appleby holds straight away. Williamson shot fake, passes to Carr. Left short corner, hounded by Copeland and Edwards. Back up top. Hildreth now right wing. Feeds to Carr, free throw line. Spins around, passes it out. Up top to Hildreth, who shoots a 3 and sinks it. With 5 seconds on the shot clock, Cameron Hildreth nails his first triple of the day. Wake back up by 4, 4:30 to go. Wake Forest contingent up to its feet in black and gold behind the Wake bench on the left side. Mintz dribbles through his legs right to left. Feeds Williams left wing. Benny is 15 to lead the Orange. Pass down low. Edwards right block. Over Marsh and in. Jesse Edwards beats the double team with speed. Now 68-66, Wake in front. 4:10 to go second half.
What a game. Back and forth we go. Both teams playing like their seasons are on the line.
They are.
Their seasons are on the line.
Appleby up top. Pivots from right to left. Appleby's got 15 points, 4 of 11 from the field. Averages 18 per game. Hildreth, right corner, shot fake, now drives around Edwards and lays it in. 5 straight points for Cameron Hildreth, and Wake back up to 4. Hildreth's got 13. 70-66, Demon Deeks. Mintz, step back, straightaway 3, cash! These teams just keep on trading buckets. 70-69 with 3:30 to go. Appleby slows it down, walks over half court. Judah's now got 16. 6 of 19 from the field as the ACC all-freshman teamer. Appleby around a screen, feeds left corner. Williamson up fakes, kick back out. Appleby splits 2 defenders. Back to Williamson, who triggers from the left corner. Hits the backside of the rim. That was a 3-ball that would not go for Williamson, who's now 3 of 9 from behind the arc. 5 Wake Forest players in double figures, 4 Orange in double figures. Under 3 minutes to go, second half. Winner stays alive, loser season probably over. 70-69 Wake Forest. Girard posts up on Hildreth. Kick out. Now right wing Williams feeds down low. Copeland wasn't looking. Carr picks it off. Here comes Wake. Hit ahead to Williamson, who lays it in with the right hand. A beautiful outlet pass from Appleby to Williamson. And Wake back up 3 with 2:38 to go in the second half. Steve Forbes calls timeout, and both teams head to their benches. White knuckling it down the stretch in Greensboro.
A's Extra!
The Anglers Extra pregame show continues from Red Wilson Field before Chatham and YD. It's time for Catch of the Day. Ian Unsworth field side, joined by Chatham hitting coach Rusty Greer. Thanks for the time, Coach.
You bet. Thanks for having me.
You've been here now 10 days. How do you feel your offense has improved over that stretch?
Numbers say we've improved a little bit. I think there's some swing changes we're trying to make to some guys, and it's not quite as easy as what people think to make a swing change. But we're working through things, and hopefully we'll get a little more consistent putting the ball in play.
I heard you guys yesterday talking about the difference between an A and B swing. What does that mean?
For me, an A swing is when I'm up in the count as a hitter's count, I'm putting my best swing on the ball. I'm looking for a pitch, and I'm going to give it my best effort. A B swing for me is when I'm down in the count, 2 strikes. I'm trying to, quote-unquote, put the ball in play, not trying to do quite as much damage. Strikeouts for me are not a good thing. I don't give myself a chance, and so sometimes we have to dial down and use our hands and just put the ball in play, so to speak.
I also heard Caden Grice mention that the YD pitchers, quote, have no tendencies. How do you guys counter that?
Well, I think they do a good job of pitching backwards, meaning when you're in a fastball count, they're throwing off-speed stuff and vice versa. I think for us as a plan going forward, against these guys, we have to think in that direction, think of them pitching backwards. And good pitchers do that. Good teams do that, and that's what makes the cat and mouse game of hitting hard. So for us, we have to have a good plan and stick to that plan.
You have Marcus Brown and Rock Riggio back tonight after their suspensions. How's that going to help your offense?
Well, they bring some energy to the lineup. There's no doubt about it. And if we can get those guys going, especially in the top of the lineup, it gets guys on base for the big boppers behind them. And so the energy they bring that's important. And not to mention their defense up the middle. They're super strong up the middle. So that's going to help us overall as a pitching staff and as a team.
Marcus Brown has made an error yet this year, a perfect 1,000 fielding percentage. The MLB draft is also coming up. It starts tomorrow. Rusty, what do you remember about your experience with the draft?
It wasn't like it is now. Trust me when I tell you. I was at home by myself. I got a phone call and said, "You're drafted in the 10th round." I said, "Great," and that's it. So nothing like it is today. But
hey, I couldn't go anywhere by myself. My parents had to carry me around and get me to T-ball practice, and the Mets need some more instruction from Buck Showalter and company. John, we're at the end of the 2-minute drills, so I better speed up, like the Orange at the Cowboy Invitational last weekend. Now Aviles and Kirst are back at Syracuse, leading the Orange and chasing their goals for 2023. It's very tough to beat a Virginia team straight up if you're just driving one-on-one or trying to run set plays. That pack line defense that Tony Bennett runs is just too good. A big sides guy too, stuffing, green bean casserole, mashed potatoes. You want to talk about mashings? How about Michigan, Ohio State? Our main dish today.
A crowded Central New York gym is nothing new for Brianna Stewart. A former star at Cicero North Syracuse High School, the 2-time WNBA champ returned to her stomping grounds on Sunday to host her second Stewie 1 basketball camp.
Any opportunity that I get to be back home, be with the kids, show them where I grew up, where I started, and where I am today, and just continue that connection is really, really important.
Stewart's camp, sponsored by Puma and Powerade, brought over 300 people to North Syracuse Middle School. For parents like Sarah Armstrong, it was a chance for her daughter and others to find a new role model.
When they can see someone like them who started off in the Central New York community as a young girl, just like them, and local teams, and to see how far she's gone and now she's bringing it back to the youth, I think that's something important for girls to look forward to.
The camp ranged from grades 4 through 12. The youngest of all stole the show. But regardless of age, Stewart wants the campers to chase their goals and cherish these moments.
So making sure that they really appreciate everything that they're doing, because soon they'll be in college or juniors or seniors or whatever, and then you look back and you're like, wow, my high school career went by so fast.
Stewart, a former North Star herself, is now using this camp to tell the next generation to shoot for the Stars. Reporting from North Syracuse, Ian Unsworth, NCC News.